Cat's back in their lap. The characters in your film, Lucien and the other Cygnus, are pretty fascinating people and very original personalities. What was it like spending time with them and getting them on film, and also, I guess, getting to get their trust?
Yeah, it was awesome, to be honest. Like, it was kind of a dream come true because I had so much respect for the work they were doing. I mean, I'm kind of like not embarrassed to say that I'm a fan of their work. Like, so I wasn't coming into it like sort of some kind of like investigative journalist trying to dig up dirt on them or something, which they've experienced, and that's fine too. I'm not putting that down, but that wasn't my goal, and they knew that. So certainly getting their trust was difficult, but not as difficult as maybe it would have been for someone else, because they did understand what my mission was. And my mission from the beginning was simply to, render their worldview coherently and accurately. And it takes some work to do that. I mean, like I said before, I was so confused. I'm like, well, I don't understand. Like, how do the 7 tenets get related to Satan? And like, so it takes some time to explain all that stuff. So I think it was just awesome getting to know them. It was a very profoundly inspiring experience for me. I'm not like a super activist type person. So to meet people who I felt a kinship with, who had found a way to mobilize, to create change, was just really inspiring to me, and have a lot of fun doing it.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
That I won't give away too many spoilers because people seeing this probably won't have seen it before the festival, but there's a pretty disturbing sequence in Detroit where they're having like a really violent performance art, satanic rite. What was that all about? That's just sort of like their deviant branch, I guess.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't think it's violent. There's nothing
not violent,
yeah,
but
no, it wasn't violent at all. But it was certainly very intense.
Very intense. That's
intense.
That's the language I'm looking for.
Angry and over the top in many ways, and it was a work of art, right? Like, I mean, as any other kind of work of art, like, it was certainly provoking a response, and I get goosebumps every time I watch that scene. And I was there, and it was so intense. I mean, the feeling in that room was so incredible. And that was, again, part of the interest for me is, in a religious context, like art and performance and shock value and all these things, like, kind of have a role to play, right? You're sort of trying to, like, reach people in a certain place. So, but yeah, the imagery of the satanic rituals, particularly without, like, any knowledge of what Satanism is, can look very disturbing. And I always knew that we wanted to have those images in the film, but that we were hoping to situate them in a way where, they were rendered clear. Like, it's somewhat understandable, if not like your cup of tea.
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
I mean?
Yeah.
Like, we had no interest in just showing these kind of upside down crosses and blood, and without kind of at least taking the time in the film in a few places to sort of situate that in a way that would give it some context.
Yeah.
Well, why are you taking these Christian symbols and destroying them? Why? And it's important that people get it, that it's not like that there might be a part of Satanism that has to do with how other people respond to you and to your work and to your images or whatever. There is a kind of reactive, relationship, and that's the trolling that people talk about, right? But most of what they're doing is private ritual for themselves. So, like, it's obviously not about offending you if, like, they're doing it for themselves, right? So there's clearly something else going on. So, like, understanding that for a lot of the people in our film that we met, for them to, take a religious symbol that for them in their own personal lives has been a source of oppression, a symbol of oppression or, abuse or any number of very negative experiences they may have had, and destroy it in a sort of symbolic way, in a ritualized way, is so powerful and meaningful to them. So it's not just about shocking other people. But it is about activating something inside themselves and liberating themselves, in many cases, from earlier trauma, or not even trauma necessarily, but maybe just bad ideas they want to get rid of, Maybe in some cases some stuff they were raised with that they need to kind of shed.
Right.
Like the fear of hell came up a lot. Like, for some of the people that in my film did grow up very religious and were exposed to, really frightening images of hell and the devil when they were children. So for them to claim the things that were the most terrifying to them, that were used to control them and subjugate them, and take them on as like almost their like mascot, is so liberating, and seeing it from that perspective really helped me to understand, why Satan, essentially, which people really want to understand, why Satan.
The film opens up in Tallahassee, so in a way, having it play at the film festival, it kind of comes full circle.
Oh, it's the best.
Really happy we could do it.
It makes me so happy. It's like 6 years after.
What was that day like?
Well, I wasn't there.
Oh, that wasn't your... Okay.
Yeah, I wasn't around for the first, 3.5 years of this story. I was only around for the last 2.5 years.
Oh, okay. So that's just archival.
Yeah. So we were lucky that they had so much film footage.
Oh, okay. So they were pretty much...
Yeah.
Very,
the only
very
person
much...
that's unhappy about that is my cinematographer, who's very talented, who probably is like, yeah, no, I didn't shoot that.
Because they were very relentless self-documenters, though.
Yes. Yeah, they always were. And because part of their project has always been, involving the media in their work, sending clips of their rituals to the news and stuff. So they've always documented everything, which was a huge boon to us.
That's great.
Yeah.
What was reception like at Sundance? And do you think people, the reactions have been, people pretty much been getting it? Or has there been any pushback from any weird directions?
Nothing unsurprising.
Yeah.
I mean, the film is very entertaining.
That's true.
And it moves very quickly. So it's not surprising to me that people have fun watching it and clap a lot and cheer. And it's been great, to have that energy in the room. But you leave the theater and you're still working through a lot of the stuff in the movie, So it's been awesome to watch people walking out of the theater, because I swear to you, Steve, I can see the wheels turning in their minds. They're smiling and they're excited and they're happy, but they're also thinking really hard. I can tell, and you can tell from the Q&As and from the buzz in the lobby. People are like, well, wait. I still don't really understand, the Satan thing, though. It's I think I'm a Satanist, but, I don't want to wear black. So there's a lot to unpack and, do intellectually in the film. And so I do think a lot of people enjoy it without totally getting it, but that's fine with me. That's what, second viewings are for. Or conversations after.
You could even have, a little placard in the lobby, you may be a Satanist and not even know it.
I know, exactly. Well, you could count the people walking out of the theater who say, maybe I'm a Satanist, and they look really, perplexed and maybe a little disturbed by that thought, but it's certainly, I was never expecting anyone to have that reaction, but I did, again, want to render their worldview accessible and coherent to a wide audience, and I think there's no doubt we did that,
Yeah.
We're not trying to convert anyone to Satanism, but we did want to take these people seriously enough to, really present their worldview accurately.
Yeah. What is this going to be, a national release or anything?
Yeah, Magnolia is putting it out in theaters. It opens on Good Friday.
Nice.
In theaters all across America.
Great. Well, listen, thank you so much.
Thank you.
We'll say Hail Penny.
Hail Penny. Hail Steve.
All right. Thanks. And hail Coco?
Tiny.
Tiny. I'm sorry. Tiny.